Troubleshooting common installation problems. My name is Brian Benton, and in this video, we will take a look at troubleshooting common installation problems when you install an Autodesk product. This won't be an exhaustive list of issues that you might encounter during product installation, but we will focus on the most common issues that Autodesk sees in product support. I will describe some typical causes for these problems, along with some solutions that have been known to work in the past to resolve these issues. Topics covered in this video. We'll take a look at optimizing for a good installation. What is it going to take to do ahead of time to help make sure your installation goes as planned? We'll take a look at trying to fix things with diagnostic mode. Installation log files. We'll take a look and see how these files will help you with your installation troubleshooting issues. Error 1603, a fatal error during installation. We'll take a look at some possible ways to solve this issue. Error 1606, could not access network locations. If this is a problem you're having, hopefully in our discussion we'll be able to fix it for you. Error 1402 or 1406 during installation. This is a problem that will come up while you're installing. It's a Windows error, and we'll take a look at what it means. Error, unhandled exception as occurred in your application. Again, this is another issue that we're going to take a look at and discuss in this video. Activation problems after a product has been installed. Sometimes you have trouble activating the product. We'll take a look at some common issues and solutions for those problems. Profile issues trigger the secondary installer. Sometimes profiles will become corrupted during installation or for other reasons. Take a look at how you can take a few little easy steps to help fix this. Imaging software. Many companies will do what's called making an image of a computer's hard drive. That way, if there's any issues, they can always just reinstall that image onto the hard drive and put everything back the way it was. Or they'll use that to mass install software across several different machines that are all built exactly the same way. Sometimes this can present certain issues, and we'll take a look at some of the most common ones. Let's talk about how you can optimize for a good installation. I'd like to go over a few best practices that you can use to optimize for a good installation. These things will help. Confirm the system requirements. Always do this. Whenever you go to install any product from Autodesk, make sure that the system requirements meet the minimums provided by Autodesk. This includes verifying the required version of Internet Explorer as well. Confirm permissions. You need administrative permissions to install an Autodesk product onto a workstation, so make sure you have that. That won't be required to run the program, just to install it. Turn off all antivirus and anti-spyware programs. They can interfere with installation, so close them before you start installing. They're constantly running, and anytime you try to run or install a program or a file, the antivirus program or anti-spyware will often scan them in real time, and this could cause corruption or data loss during installation. Make sure though, once you have installed the software, you turn all AV software back on. Close all active applications. If anything is running, turn it off. That running active application could be reading or writing data somewhere, and it could cause problems for the install. Clean the previous installation. If you're removing an earlier version, make sure it's completely clean from your computer system. For more help or assistance on how to clean a version of an Autodesk product, you can go to this website at usa.autodesk.com/get-doc/ID=TS45252. This is a knowledge-based document that Autodesk has created, and it goes over the proper steps that you need to take to fully clean your system of an Autodesk product. Cleaning an Autodesk product from your computer before you install a new working version is very important, especially if you have been a beta tester. A lot of times the beta software versions are just not compatible with real live products, so make sure you take those off. Diagnostic mode. One common way to troubleshoot Autodesk product problems is to run the software in safe mode. Unfortunately, this method of troubleshooting doesn't always work with newer versions of the software because the necessary Autodesk licensing services won't load in safe mode. So if that's the case, where safe mode won't work for you, then the best troubleshooting alternative is to use the msconfig utility to restart the Windows systems in a state that's very similar to safe mode, but with the Autodesk licensing services running. How to get to diagnostic mode. On your Start menu in Windows, click Run. Or you can just use your Start Search in Windows Vista or Windows 7. If you're in Windows 8, you can just use Search by typing it in. In the Run dialog box or the search box, type msconfig and then press Enter. And again in Windows 8, just start typing msconfig and then press Enter. This launches the System Configuration utility. Go to the General tab, select the Diagnostics Startup option. That'll be the first tab on the left, and then the option you want is in the middle. It's called the Diagnostic Startup. Click that option. On the Services tab, select the Autodesk Licensing Service option, and then browse through the services until you find the Autodesk Licensing Service option, and then click the box on the left to check it. For 2010 products or later, select the FlexNet Licensing Service. Turn that one on. When you're done, click OK, and then restart Windows. That'll put you in a diagnostic mode. Start your Autodesk product, try to configure it, figure out what's going on, and then you'll be able to get everything running again. Once that's all settled, you'll need to return to normal Windows startup. In Windows XP, you want to go to your Start menu, then click Run, or you're going to go to Start and then Search in Windows Vista or Windows 7. In Windows 8, you just type in Search. In the Run dialog box or search box, you just type in msconfig and press Enter. On the General tab, select the Normal Startup option. Click OK and restart Windows. So you'll do essentially the same thing twice to get to the msconfig. Once you're there in msconfig, you want to go into the General tab for the Diagnostic Startup option, and then go to the Services tab and make sure you turn on the Autodesk Licensing Services options and your FlexNet Licensing Services. Restart Windows. When it comes back up, start your Autodesk product, diagnose any problems that you might have, fix them, close that, and then you need to restart Windows back normally. So again, go back to msconfig the exact same way you did before and put it into regular mode. Click OK, and then restart Windows again. Installation log files. Most products created by Autodesk will have one or more installation log files. They're created automatically in the temp folder on your client workstation. Creation of this log file is optional if you've installed your Autodesk product via a deployment. So it must be enabled when creating the deployment in the administrative image. Enable the Microsoft Windows installer logging for a more detailed log. Microsoft has a knowledge base article about doing this. You can go to http://support.microsoft.com/kb/314852. This article will talk in detail on how to enable the Microsoft Windows installer logging. There is also an Autodesk knowledge base article about this, and this is the address that you can go to for that. http://usa.autodesk.com/getdoc/id=TS1070015. So both of these articles will provide you with a lot of information in detail on how to use and install and set up the Microsoft Windows installer logging and the Autodesk logging options. All of your log files will be created in your temp directory and will have some name of MSI some numbers.log. Now let's take a look at troubleshooting some common installation problems that you might run into along the way. Error 1603, fatal error during installation. Possible causes are: 1603 errors are typically related to permissions. Some possible solutions: you can read the Microsoft knowledge base article found in this location, support.microsoft.com/kb/834484. If that does not correct the problem, then you need to log onto the machine using the local systems administrator account. This is the default administrative account that installs with the Windows operating system. Make sure you've stopped all antivirus and spyware services and verify that the process is not listed as running in the task manager. So go to your task manager, make sure that those systems are definitely not running. There could be some sort of background running application that's getting in the way. Browse to the system temp folder and delete the contents that are there. Many times during an installation, the installing product will create temporary folders, and sometimes it will cause other problems during installation. So make sure this temp folder has been deleted. In Windows 8, you can just search for this temp code. That will take you right to that folder. Once you've done all these steps, retry installation. The 1603 error is not an Autodesk error, it's a Microsoft error. These types of errors are very difficult to specifically diagnose and troubleshoot. But typically, a 1603 error is a permissions error. You probably just need to make sure you have the proper permissions required to install an Autodesk product. Error 1606, could not access network locations. Error 1606 happens when the secondary installer runs. This error code relates to problems with the registry key. It can't properly find the installed directory that it needs to find to work in. A lot of these errors happened in earlier versions of Autodesk and AutoCAD products, remedied in version 2010 and later. Sometimes you'll get error 1606 when installing from a deployment. It's possible that the deployment image was moved from one server to another. This will cause a problem. You'll need to edit the .ini file in the admin image location and change the server names. Sometimes you have a custom content path that was specified incorrectly. Maybe the path has changed. Maybe there's a mapped drive in there that's been altered in some way or not accessible by that local machine. Troubleshoot those and make sure that that is remedied. Sometimes if you modify an existing deployment image and you edit the support content folders, sometimes that will cause this error. For more information on this, you can also check the Microsoft Knowledge Base article found here at this location, support.microsoft.com/kb/886549. Error 1402 or 1406 during installation. The issue: during the installation of the product, you receive one of these errors. One of these errors has been displayed in a message dialog or in the installation log. The cause? The installer can't write to a particular key in your system's registry. Typically, this is due to a permissions issue. Possible solution: document the exact message that was given to you to identify which key is causing the issue. So enter your registry via the regedit command in the Run dialog box or in Windows Vista, Windows 7, or Windows 8 in your search. Locate the suspected key in the registry. Now remember, the error message should have told you which key that it is. Right-click the folder and choose Permissions. Choose Add. It's suggested that you choose the Everyone option in this case. You can find additional information on this at Autodesk's Knowledge Base website at usa.autodesk.com/getdoc/ID equals TS1069886. Sometimes you'll find this: error, unhandled exception has occurred in your application. The issues are that you received this error during the product installation. It typically includes an error regarding just-in-time or JIT in the installation log. Cause: the JIT error indicates a possible corruption in the Microsoft .NET framework. Possible solutions: close all open programs. From the control panel, one at a time, uninstall all version, hotfixes, and service packs that are related to the Microsoft .NET framework. Many Autodesk products run on the Microsoft .NET framework. If there's a problem with this, they won't run properly. After uninstalling all versions of Microsoft .NET, restart your machine. Download and install Microsoft .NET Framework 3.5 only. Once those are installed, reattempt to install the Autodesk product. Activation problems after a product has been installed. Begin with obvious issues like verifying correct serial number and rule them out. Forcing product activation. Delete the existing activation information to force an activation. Remember, every time you activate your Autodesk product, it saves a file that has that information on your local machine. That's how the program knows to run. Browse to that and delete it. This file is stored in a trusted storage.data file. This file stores activation information for all of the Autodesk products from 2010 and later. The name will be similar to ADSKFLEX underbar some numbers underbar tsf.data. The file can be found in the following folder. On Windows XP, look at C:/Documents and Settings /All Users /Application Data /FlexNet. In Windows Vista 7 or 8, you want to look into the C:/Program Data /FlexNet folder. Deleting this file will remove activation for all installed 2010 products or later that are from Autodesk. So only do this as a last resort. You will have to reactivate all installed products that you have on that computer. This is why this is a last resort. Next, we want to look at profile issues, the trigger, and the secondary installer. To force the secondary installer to run, you want to log on the computer as that user. Enter the registry using regedit. Browse to the following subkey and delete it. HKey_current_user/software/Autodesk, then the product name. Only delete this key in the HKey_current_user registry key. Otherwise, you're going to be removing it for every user and even the installation on the workstation. Using Windows Explorer, locate and delete the following user folder. On Windows XP, you want to go to See Documents and Settings, the user's name, Application Data, Autodesk, and then the product name. You also want to go to C:/Documents and Settings, the user name, Local Settings, Application Data, Autodesk, and the product name. In Windows Vista, Windows 7, and Windows 8, you want to go to these two folders: C:/Users, Username, App Data, Roaming, Autodesk, and then C:/Users, Username, App Data, Local, Autodesk. These will get rid of the profiles for the Autodesk products. Restart the product to initiate the secondary installer. This will recreate the deleted files. So if you're having a problem with a specific user's profile in a specific Autodesk product, this is one way that you can fix this. Just browse to the appropriate folders that we've shown you here and delete the user's profile information, and also go to the registry and delete that information there. Once you restart the product, it's almost like doing it again for the very first time. And so it will automatically recreate these programs from scratch by default, and it will be working again. Imaging software. What is imaging software? It is a method for creating a master image of a drive containing Autodesk products. One example is Norton Ghost. Of course, there are many other options out there, but in general, they all work similarly. Master images are restored to other computers to simplify system setup. Imaging software can result in some of the following situations. They can create conflicts with product licensing. Incomplete installations and problems with activation can occur. In a SATA RAID environment, they can cause product activation problems. You may receive an error message called Activation Code Limit Exceeded. To get more information on these errors that you may have, you need to go to the Autodesk Help topic and look up Distributing an Autodesk Program. This will provide you with a lot of information, more detail than we can go into here, that might be able to help you out. Follow these instructions carefully. They will provide detailed information about switches that you're going to need to use when creating a master image. It'll go into detailed methods on how to activate products being distributed via image software. In conclusion, obviously, it isn't possible to cover all the issues that may occur in installing Autodesk products. I hope that by highlighting the most common issues that Autodesk sees, that you will feel a little bit more prepared to solve these issues when or if you encounter them. I can't guarantee that all the solutions provided in this video will solve your issues that you encounter, because there are many variables related to product installation. If you encounter an issue that was not covered in this video, I recommend you refer to the Autodesk knowledge base for more information.